do to surround him to win an NBA championship. They went out and got Kevin Love, which you traded your number one draft pick, who's going to be on the verge of being an all-star / superstar, and Andrew Wiggins. And that's a team to watch out for, is the Minnesota Timberwolves this year, if they can get it all together. I like what they doing with that organization. But all in all, I do think that LeBron will stay here. He likes the teammates. He likes this city. His kids can go to school here. And more importantly, this is where his heart at. His heart is in the state of Ohio. So I think he got a lot of investments in here. He got a lot of programs and charities here. So I think all in all, he will stay here. If you want to go to California, he can anytime catch a plane here. He can always hop on the plane. How much money he got, it's just ridiculous. But all in all, I think his heart is in Ohio. I think his fans doesn't too much have nothing to worry about, because he can get anybody to come to Cleveland. LeBron James is that powerful that he can have anybody come to Cleveland. So, and plus you with a young Kyrie who is only 24, 25 years old, Kevin Love only 28, 29, Amon Summer 25. So, and you got some players who contracts is up, who's going to get them some little bit of cap room with James Jones, Shannon Fry. Richard Jefferson might retire. So the Cavs got a little room with, but I think their upside is still there because they're still young. They just need to get some more young players in here that can run this system and that can help this team win another NBA title. So all in all, I think LeBron James cannot be mad at the Cleveland Cavaliers because they done all they can to help him stay here and help him be happy here. So but when it all said and done, LeBron James will retire as a Cleveland Cavalier. He said he wants to, so I think he will. We have nothing to worry about. Now, with the GM situation and the president situation, we all know it's kind of, stalling. My thing is, I think Chauncey Billups looking at the whole picture, like I said, it's just he don't know what LeBron James is going to do in his eyes. And they don't have tradable contracts, and they got their hand and they cuff, and they got a lot of salary. They got a lot of salary cap problems, and they over the luxury taxes. So Chauncey Billups is thinking in his head, yeah, well LeBron James plays here, but that's only for 1 year. He still have another 4-year contract, and there's not much he can do with this team because they done gave up their draft picks. They over the luxury taxes. They don't have tradable contracts. So with you coming in here being a GM, you really can't do but so much because of what the Cavs has done to be a now team other than a settling for the future. But you got to understand, you got LeBron James, so you have to do that. Because his window of opportunity is not going to always stay open. He got about 2 to 3 more years as just an elite player. So that's what Chauncey Billups is thinking about. You can't knock the man for, taking his time and thinking through this situation. Even though the Cavs have LeBron James, you still have to look at the whole picture. It's better to be safe than sorry. And I think Chauncey Billups, that's what he's doing. I don't blame him. I just wouldn't put myself into anything, to a situation where when I get it, it's going to be hard to maneuver and get some trades in with the cap problems and the luxury tax problems. So I think that all in all, Chauncey Billups thinking it all over. He's going to make a decision soon. He already countered with the Cavs. He wants more money, but at the same time, trust and believe me, he's thinking about everything. He's thinking about every situation and the whole picture in this Cleveland Cavaliers organization before he accept the offer that Dan Gilbert gave him, which was 5 years. They don't have the dollars yet, but I'm pretty sure that's what they're working out. And so we're going to continue to cover that and see what's going on with that. And that's just my insight on what is going on with this general manager and president situation in the front office of the Cleveland Cavaliers. But all in all, the Cavs will get a GM. They're going to have to, and they will get a president. We're going to see who it is, and you cannot knock Chauncey Billups. So he's a business. At the end of the day, people, you got to realize it's a business. At the end of the day, it all comes down to the dollars. So at the end of the day, we're going to see what they're going to do, and let's hope Dan Gilbert make the right move. Now we're going to get into talking about some Cleveland Indians. And I went to the ball game Friday, and they lost 5-0. And the Indians in that 3-game series against Minnesota, they only scored 2 runs. You cannot win the World Series scoring 2 runs. And I think the Indians, you come off a 7-1 road trip, which is not easy winning in Camden Yards. You took 3 out of 4 of them. You took all 4 of the Minnesota Twins. So you coming home feeling good. And I think it was just a lack of concentration. They came off their road trip feeling, good about themselves, but they not concentrating on their next opponent. And it's the major leagues, and teams can beat you. And they bats was hot, and they wasn't concentrating, and you cannot let that happen. You cannot come off a 7-1 road trip and then lose the last 3 games. That is just unacceptable as a team, let alone with an organization. So I think it's just the concentration part. They got some good pitching performances, but their bats just wasn't clicking. Then they come in today as they won today. Corey Kluber had another great outing. He's been terrific since he's coming back from his injury, from his back spasm, which I keep telling you, I don't think that was just rest, because he played so deep into the postseason last year. He pitched 4 out of 7 games in the World Series. That's unheard of a pitcher. He just needed to get some rest, and you can see what he do when he gets some rest. But I just think in that series against Minnesota, they just didn't score any runs. And coming off that 7-1 road trip, you would think the bats would be hot, but it's not. But they took 3 out of 4 against Texas. They came back from a 9-2 deficit, and on Monday, man, that was amazing. I didn't even know that myself. I looked at the television and I said, no, they ain't going to come back. And they proved me wrong. And then after you come back from that incredible comeback Monday, you come back and lose. You lose 2-1. And a lot of times the Indians losing is just little things. I mean, but Cody Allen, I would give him the ball in any situation. In that situation, I would have gave him the ball too. And Tuesday's game when they lost on a home run by Adrian Beltre. So he's a Hall of Famer, and he just gotta. It was a great location to pitch, but sometimes good offense beat good defense. Good offense beat good pitching. So you got to give credit to Adrian Beltre for hitting a tough ball out the ballpark. I mean, that's what good hitters do. Yesterday, you come in and Trevor Bauer performed tremendously against Hugh Darvish. He always pitched big when the opponent have a big name pitcher on the mound. The offense got back clicking. They won 5-3. So their bats is coming alive, but I just think it's just the concentration that's just hurting the Indians, and they have to be a better home team on this road. On this home stand, they was 3-4. There's no way you can come back from a 7-1 road trip and then come home with a 3-4 home stand. That's too inconsistent. The Indians have to be more consistent at home. You have to take care of your business at home. That should be your sanctuary. That should be where you know you can come back and take care of business with. I mean, the Indians is drawing 20,000 to 30,000 fans every day. The fans is coming out, so the Indians have to pick up their pick this up and give us fans what we deserve, and that's better baseball. That's more consistent baseball. That's more timely hitting. It's like if they hitting, then they pitching not good. If they pitching good, then they hitting not good. We want both of them at the same time. We want good pitching and good hitting. And at the end of the day, it's all about consistency. And anything you do in life is about consistency. And then staying on top of it and being persistency about it. You gotta stay on top of things. And so I think that's what the Indians' problem. Let alone I think they will win this division. As I keep saying this, they're a great baseball team, but they just gotta put it together. And you've seen that in that road trip. That when the Indians put their minds to it, they can beat any team in the major leagues because they that good. And they got one of the best managers for it, Terry Francona. My heart go out to him. They say he was wearing a heart monitor. We're going to pray for the Francona family. Keep them in prayers and hope that everything is okay. And hope that, you know what I'm saying, he get well soon. But they say he was on the sideline last night. And I didn't watch today's game, but I know they won 5-3. So I will check that out and see if he managed that game. But we're going to keep our thoughts and our prayers out to him and get well, Tito. We love you. So the Indians just need to work on being more consistent. So I don't really too much worry about them because that division is weak and the Indians is just going to win this division. I don't know how, but I know they will win this division. I don't see a team that's gooder than the Indians in the AL Central, which might be one of the weakest divisions in baseball this year. So the Cleveland Indians will be okay. I'm not going to worry. It's going to be back to the All-Star break this Sunday. We're going to come back and let's get on the road, win as many games we can until we get to the All-Star break and come back fresh and get ready to get back at it in the second half. That's all you can ask from this team. They bats been coming alive. Ramirez is having an incredible month. So is Edwin Encarnacion, Yan Gomes, and even Lonnie Chisenhall. He's having a great year. He's surprising me. He's like third or fourth on the team in RBIs to be a platoon player. He's having a nice year, and he was one of the Indians' top prospects coming out the Indians farm system at playing third, but he just wasn't consistent enough at third, and he wasn't producing. And now he's in right field, and he's looking like the player that we thought he was going to be in the farm system. So there's some good things coming out of Indians. I feel like it was a great move to rest Andrew Miller more and put him in a closer spot more. Just, I'm saying, get him some rest. Cody Allen was willing to switch with him, and that's what you need, players like that on your team who's going to sacrifice and do what's best for the team. And that's what's good about the Indians. They have a good core and a good locker room who are going to sacrifice for the team and sacrifice for each other. And then, because at the end of the day, it's about winning the World Series. And so that's going to wrap that up with the Indians. We're going to get into this last segment. Last but not least, we're going to talk about some New England Patriots. I went over the Buffalo Bills. I went over the Miami Dolphins. Now let's talk about the New England Patriots, who is the alpha dogs of the NFL. Man, Bill Belichick has done a great job with this team ever since he got fired by the Cleveland Browns in 1995. Before the Browns left, I mean, he took over this organization. He's the type of coach and GM of this team that you want. It's discipline with Bill Belichick. You cannot go to New England and just do anything. They don't do the social media thing. It's all for one and one for all, and they all as a team. Players that go there, they learn and they get disciplined, and they take it somewhere else and be a leader, like a Jamie Collins here in Cleveland. Bill Belichick does not play games, and he's all about winning football games, and that's what I love about this organization. They is winners. They is not no losers. They all about winning games, and that's what I love about the New England Patriots is because they not worried about nothing else but winning football games and winning championships, and they got one of the greatest